From a high school sensation to a Heisman Trophy winner, Robert Griffin III was once the brightest star in the NFL. With a combination of electric performances, uncapped potential, and a dynamic playing style, RG3 captivated fans and earned his place among football's top stars during his time. However, behind the highlight reel plays and show-stopping abilities lay a tough reality that every mobile quarterback should heed. Let's find out how a promising career was derailed by a series of injuries and his unexpected shift from star player to sports analyst. On February 12, 1990, Robert Griffin III was born in Okinawa, Japan. From a young age, it was clear he was destined for greatness. His parents, Robert Griffin Jr. and Jacqueline, were U.S. Army sergeants, and they taught him the discipline and determination that would become his trademarks. The family moved around quite a bit, stretching from Fort Lewis in Washington to New Orleans, Louisiana. But in 1997, after his parents retired from the military, they settled in Copperas Cove, Texas. Growing up in Texas, Griffin was surrounded by the level of talent that would allow him to develop the skills and mindset that would set him on the path to NFL stardom. At Copperas Cove High School, RG3 stood out as a multi-sports star, excelling in football, basketball, and track. As a quarterback, Griffin's explosive athleticism and exceptional arm strength quickly gained attention. In his junior season, he passed for 2,001 yards and 25 touchdowns with just 2 interceptions, while rushing for 876 yards and 8 touchdowns. His consistent play throughout the season earned him first-team All-District 16-4A honors. During his senior season, he let his legs do most of the work. He finished with 1,285 rushing yards and scored an incredible 24 touchdowns on the ground, all the while passing for 1,356 yards and 16 touchdowns. As a quarterback, these stats are the literal definition of putting the team on your back, and he was able to carry the team to a 13-2 record and a spot in the Class 4A Division I state championship game. Over his 2 seasons as a starter, he accumulated 3,357 passing yards, 41 passing touchdowns, 2,161 rushing yards, and 32 rushing touchdowns. Despite back-to-back losses in the state championship game, he was still able to earn the Texas District MVP title in his final season. On top of his football accolades, he also set Texas state records in the 110-meter hurdles with a time of 13.55 seconds and the 300-meter hurdles with a time of 35.33 seconds, just 1/100th of a second off the national record. These incredible times put him among the top junior athletes in the world and showed off his amazing mix of speed, acceleration, and agility. In 2008, Griffin committed to Baylor University and started 11 of 12 games as a true freshman. Although the Bears struggled, finishing 4-8 on the year, Griffin earned Big 12 Offensive Freshman of the Year honors and finished the season with 2,091 passing yards, 15 touchdowns, and 843 rushing yards, with 13 rushing touchdowns. Leading up to the 2009 season, there was a lot of hype for the Baylor Bears and their leading man, especially now that he had a full year under his belt. The Bears were 1-1 heading into a favorable matchup against Northwestern State in front of a sold-out crowd in Waco. After going down early 7-0, RG3 took matters into his own hands and had a dominant first half with 226 yards through the air and 3 touchdowns. However, after being awkwardly tackled on a 4th down run for no gain, RG3 remained down and the air was immediately sucked out of the stadium. After several minutes, RG3 remained on the ground and the Baylor faithful started to chant his name. He was eventually able to make it back to his feet and hobble his way to the sideline. An MRI the next day revealed that he had an isolated tear in his ACL, which ultimately led to the end of his 2009 season. RG3's absence on the field was detrimental for the Bears, and they ended up finishing with back-to-back 4-8 seasons. After months of grueling treatment and rehab, RG3 was ready in time for the start of next season. Although it should have been his junior year, he was technically considered a sophomore after being eligible to redshirt due to his injury the previous year. Although he had a great year coming off the knee injury, Baylor came up short of reaching a bowl game again and finished with a 7-6 record. Leading up to Griffin's final season at Baylor, the Bears still weren't considered one of the top teams in the country, as they were picked to finish 6th in the Big 12 preseason polls. some say these preseason projections left a little bit of a chip on RG3's shoulder, and the college football world found out why during Baylor's season opener against number 15 TCU. The Bears took what seemed like an insurmountable 47-23 lead into the fourth quarter, only to watch it quickly evaporate into a 48-47 deficit. However, with RG3 being the dog that he is, he was once again able to put the team on his back and led the Bears down the field and set up a 37-yard game-winning field goal. Griffin left those frogs hornless after posting a ridiculous stat line of 359 passing yards and 5 touchdowns, while also leading Baylor to their first top 25 rank for only the third time in the last 15 seasons at number 20. RG3 kept this momentum going throughout the season as he was the headliner across the nation week in and week out and led Baylor to a 10-3 record, which was good enough to land them a spot in the Alamo Bowl against the Washington Huskies. This game turned out to be one for the record books as the Bears took down the Huskies 67-56, which remains the highest scoring regulation bowl game in NCAA history with a combined 123 points. Griffin's outstanding playmaking abilities, combined with his incredible speed and elusiveness throughout the season, earned him the prestigious Heisman Trophy award, beating out Stanford great Andrew Luck, Alabama's Trent Richardson, and the Honey Badger himself, Tyrann Mathieu. He finished the season with 4,293 passing yards, 699 rushing yards, and 47 total touchdowns, and will forever be remembered as a Baylor legend. Fresh off a Heisman-winning season, Griffin felt it was time to take his game to the next level and made the decision to enter the 2012 NFL Draft. After trading away 4 high-value draft picks to the St. Louis Rams, the Washington Redskins selected RG3 as the second overall pick, right behind fellow Heisman Trophy finalist Andrew Luck. Leading up to the 2012 NFL season, the anticipation surrounding Griffin's debut was palpable, and he did anything but disappoint. He started off his NFL career with a bang as he knocked off future Hall of Famer Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints 40-32, going 19 for 26 with 320 yards in the air and 2 touchdowns, while adding 10 carries for 42 yards on the ground. This performance earned him NFC Offensive Player of the Week honors, making him the first rookie quarterback in NFL history to receive the award for his debut. Not only that, but he also earned his first of 4 NFL Rookie of the Week honors, which ultimately led to September's Rookie of the Month crown. However, as the saying goes, with every hot start, there comes a cold finish, or in Griffin's case, a cold first half of the season, as the Redskins took a 3-6 record going into a much-needed bye week. This not only allowed the team to hit the reset button, but it gave RG3 enough time to lock in and give us one of the most historic 7-game stretches the league has seen by a rookie quarterback in its history. He helped turn their 3-6 start into a 10-6 finish, and led the Redskins to their first playoff berth in 5 years, and their first NFC East title since 1999. RG3's first year was full of remarkable achievements as he set rookie records for the highest passer rating at 102.4 and the best touchdown to interception ratio at 4-1. Griffin was also honored as the 2012 NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year and was ranked 15th on the NFL Top 100 Players of 2013 list. Despite a stellar rookie season by the reigning Heisman winner, the first of many injuries came during a Week 14 matchup against the Baltimore Ravens. Griffin was forced to roll out of the pocket on a 2nd and long late in the fourth quarter and was awkwardly tackled by defensive end Haloti Ngata.
Griffin takes off and is able to reach the 40-yard line.
After being helped to the sideline, fellow rookie QB Kirk Cousins relieved the injured Griffin and led the team to their 4th consecutive win. After the game, Griffin was diagnosed with a grade 1 LCL sprain, which should have sidelined him for the rest of the season, but he only ended up missing 1 game before returning against the Eagles in a Week 16 matchup. The team's decision to allow Griffin to return so quickly not only proved to be detrimental to a rising NFL star with untapped potential, but to an entire city and fan base that watched their young franchise player's career get cut out at the knees. On a cold January afternoon, the Redskins were facing off against the Seahawks in the wildcard round, and a botched snap late in the fourth quarter ended up being the final nail in the coffin for Robert Griffin III. After simply trying to pick the ball up, his heavily padded right knee twisted awkwardly, which resulted in a complete tear of his ACL, LCL, and meniscus.
Bad leg. It's just a matter of time before something like this happened. Let's just hope that it's not anything.
The condensation clouds in the stands seemed to disappear as the entire stadium was holding their breath while Griffin received medical attention. As the reality of the injury set in, a collective silence enveloped the crowd, marking not just the end of their season, but the haunting uncertainty of what could have been for both Griffin and the franchise. In the following seasons, Griffin consistently dealt with injury issues and never got back to the RG3 the NFL fell in love with his rookie year. After suffering another ACL and LCL tear that made him miss the entire 2015 season, he was traded to the Cleveland Browns in 2016 and then to the Ravens in 2018. From 2016 to 2020, he only played in 19 games, and the RG3 of old became a distant memory that will continue to fade away as the years pass. Griffin's heavy reliance on running and his aggressive playstyle, along with several other mobile quarterbacks, will continue to create issues for franchises if these guys don't start protecting themselves. Let's take a look at a few of the all-time great quarterbacks like Tom Brady, the Manning brothers, Johnny Unitas, and Drew Brees. A few things that made them great were their pocket presence, throwing accuracy, and IQ for the game. Sure, you can make this argument for RG3 as he excelled in each of those categories, but the major difference between Griffin
and know the name of this obscure former semi-pro quarterback. Johnny Unitas' career became the sports
and the previously mentioned Hall of Famers was their ability to avoid big hits. It's as simple as throwing the ball away. Sliding before getting clotheslined, or dropping into the fetal position. It just seems like mobile quarterbacks these days have too much pride and are too focused on making highlight plays every time they touch the ball instead of making decisions that's best for them and the team. So if you're a young QB and you're watching this, let RG3's injury-plagued career and decision-making serve as a powerful lesson. Finding the right balance between showcasing your athleticism and avoiding career-ending hits is one of the keys to sustaining long-term success in a league full of hungry barbarians looking to snap you like a twig the first chance they get. Regardless of Griffin's short-term success, his lasting impact on football, especially at the collegiate level, and his unwavering resilience in the face of adversity will never be forgotten. Are there any current QBs that you can think of that may meet the same dreadful fate as RG3? Let us know in the comments section below. If you liked the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on more stories like this one. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.